A quick word today about the use of shame. So, as you know, I am a parenting expert and a childhood anxiety expert, and shame is something that I come across a great deal. So, people on social media, they often tweet me or send me Facebook posts about the use of shame. In fact, there was an example recently which appeared in one of the main papers about a mum who had decided in the middle of a supermarket to make her two children sit down on the floor and face the wall or the vegetable rack or something and sit there in full view of everyone in the supermarket. And of course, that's a deeply shaming experience for those children. You know, any of us would be mortified to have to sit in a public place knowing that we were there because we had upset our main adult and now all the other adults would be looking at us in a different way. So it was interesting to see the comments on it because apparently a lot of people were in support of the mother, and she then went on to say, oh, but the next time I went to the supermarket, the children behaved really well, therefore it works. Well, it may or may not work, but those children will carry a very deep emotional and physical experience and memory of that for the rest of their lives. And it will be interesting to see what they experience every time in 20 years' time that they step foot into a supermarket. These things leave lasting memories, and they're not good ones, and they don't serve us very well. So what else am I worried about? Well, I'm worried about the fact that as professionals, many people think that using shame is a good way to get children in their care to do things. Again, I often get contacted by parents who say, oh, this incident happened to my child in school or in their preschool, and I don't really know what to do because I don't want to undermine the professional, but my child was deeply upset. And even very young children, they experience a very full-on experience of I am shameful. If we dress them down in public, we use certain words and looks and energy that we put towards them about how shameful they are, which is like saying in a way that you disgust me and your behaviour disgusts me. So even if we were to say your behaviour is shameful, the child will take out of the centre of that, therefore I am shameful. And shame isn't something that leaves us very easily. Even as a woman in her 50s, a certain tone of voice, a certain look, a certain scenario will trigger a deep, automatic sense of shame. Think about it yourself. Think about any situations where you've been caught off guard and you didn't realise that a piece of feedback that you got, or a look, or an expression that somebody used about you or to you really caused you to just completely emotionally crash inside and go back to that place of total, sometimes self-loathing and self-doubt. So let's please be very careful about how we are addressing children's behaviour. There may be many reasons why a child has done something, and if we're always putting a negative spin on it, oh, they took that thing on purpose, or they're stealing things, or they push that child because they're a spiteful child, it takes us into that place of shaming them if we're not careful. Whereas what they really need is, they may or may not have made a mistake. There may actually be a completely different reason why they have done the thing that we think is a bad thing. So they need us to slow down, calm down, approach them with compassionate curiosity, and just be in that place of, oh, I'm wondering, what's going on, if you're okay, let's see if we can sort this out together. Because then you bring them back to a place of safety, you bring them back to a place of intellectual curiosity, and then they'll work with you to problem solve whatever the situation is. And if you listen long enough and carefully enough, you may find out that actually you got it wrong in the first place, which is fine because we don't want to put you in a place of shame either. But, let's just get thinking about this, thinking about the use of consequences, rewards, praise, and how they all play into this big power that we have over children and how carefully we need to use it. I hope that's helpful, and let's all reflect on this and keep the discussion going.